Hey, this is Jake from Jake's Board Reviews, and this is actually first impressions on the Cali twin collaboration between Mark Richards and Matt Biolos from Lost Surfboards. I'm joined by Dylan to discuss our first impressions on the board. So I'll quickly start off. I've actually only ridden this board once, and I've ridden so far the fins that Dylan's been playing around with, which I would personally recommend. We've still got mosquitoes going around everywhere. It's just been raining. The weather's been so crap here that like the rain's just absolutely bringing the mosquitoes in full swing. Anyway, without further ado, let's discuss this board a bit. So I rode it today. We surfed to Back Beach, a local point. A bit junky. It was about probably head high to slightly overhead, would you say, Dylan?
I reckon a bit overhead.
And
nice.
Yeah, we rode. I had my first surf on it, and I was quite thoroughly impressed with this board. I found, even though it is 5'6", it's 20 by 2 3/8 thick. It felt actually quite thin, to be honest.
Yeah.
For 20 by 2 3/8, and it's 28.5 litres. It felt pretty thin.
It feels quite manoeuvrable.
Yeah.
I like it.
Feels 1 litre smaller. We were discussing. Dylan, I'm going to pass it to you. Give us just a breakdown of what waves you think it's best in. We're not doing a full review, so we're not going to go into full analysis. But what have you liked about it so far, and what have you disliked about it? You've ridden it more than me.
After my first surf, I was a bit like, okay, I've got to get into it. I reckon this board you've got to ride it have at least one surf.
Yeah.
But just to warm up to it, and then your second surf you'll start feeling it because you know what you're looking for. And that second surf was gold. But it really it loves, I reckon, like small. Like I've ridden like some tiny little waves on this.
Yeah.
To maybe just overhead. When it gets a bit hectic, windy, and just a bit overhead, it gets it's just, you'd rather a different board.
Yeah.
There's not enough length on this for me. Like, I need a bit more length, but
I think, so it's that length, but it's not only the length, it's just the overall outline. It's pretty flat throughout. Like, it's got I can see in the front, it's got a slight bit of kick. But there's not much throughout it, but
I love it though.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's a very fun, good all-round choice.
It's weird. It's super quick. You can fly through the fat sections, but you can push this thing. Like, you really could. I could push this like nearly as hard as my shortboard.
Yeah.
Like, I could really push this on rail. That surprised me. I didn't actually expect to be able to push this as hard as I could. I thought it was going to be actually a bit slidey and a bit of a struggle, but it's got grip for life. I actually rode it without the trailer as well. So these are the MR twin fins there. But I actually rode it just as 20s on like a small playful day. It was actually really
it's a speed
fun.
rocket. Yeah.
But I definitely, with the trailer, you can push that thing to its limit. Like, on rail.
Yeah. I like how it feels loose, but also after a few waves I had this afternoon, or did we surf them after? It was the afternoon. After a few waves in the afternoon, I realised actually this thing had quite a lot of hold.
Yeah.
Once you got used to it, in the beginning it felt a bit loose, and I wasn't sure. I was a bit skeptical of like taking off on some of the bigger ones, because it was obviously like 3 to 4.5 foot on some of the sets.
Some good ones.
Maybe I wouldn't say it got to 5, but it was at least 3 to 4 foot back. Yeah, for sure.
Solid enough.
Yeah, solid enough to test a board in. I think I wouldn't personally push this board above like 4.5 foot.
Yeah,
you can, but I wouldn't do it.
It just sort of, you got other boards for that sort of
for
job.
sure. It belongs in that quiver. So you can pair this with like you can have this as like a small wave kind of everyday board, and then you can even have this as like an alternative fun board, and then have a step up, or like alternative step up, like a more pinned out twin.
It covers like 15 of your boards in your quiver.
Yeah,
but I reckon the weird thing I found with this board is that I didn't expect it to be so responsive and whippy. Like, I thought it was going to be a bit more chilled out, but wow, it's sporadic.
Wow, yeah, no, definitely. There was one wave I had today where I actually clicked with the board, and this one's slightly too big for me. I'd probably go the stock 5.5 if I bought it. So that's my first impressions. I'd say if you're around, I weigh around probably now. It varies, but I weigh roughly around like 68 to 70 kilos, maybe 69.
You're heavier than me.
Am I heavier than you?
Yeah, I'm a little
And you like
65.
bigger boards than me,
Yeah, I
mate.
love
But
I
you're
like being-
taller. You're taller, so
Yeah, but I like being lazy.
What do we think before we go on about weight? I think it's actually skill levels the biggest thing.
yeah,
what you prefer.
You feel comfortable
Exactly.
with. Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
It's not a matter of this is because a lot of the time like you walk.
That's
walk
just to
into,
get a general idea, I reckon.
Of
The
course,
weight
yeah.
is just to get a general idea.
Yeah.
But you could.
And the
blind-
stock sizes are general idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bloody mosquitoes.
It's got a medium entry.
Oh no! I'd
It's
say
a low exit. Oh, it's got like tail kick and nose.
it's
lift.
just it's low exit, low entry. We'll talk
Big
about that
double.
more in the full review.
Big
but
double.
Before I would say what's so far verdict is like
Super fun board.
super fun board. We're gonna do
I
a full
like this
review.
board.
Full review coming shortly. If you haven't subscribe down below. It's going to help the channel a lot in order for it to grow. And comment below, ask any questions you'd like on the board, other boards, etc. And what you'd like to see me review next. And if you want to see Dylan rip on a couple waves in some footage. So there you go.
See if I can break this board.
Yeah, see if we can snap it in half.
But,
Okay.
nah, super fun board.
Yeah.
Versatile, playful, and fun.
There you go. So that's the first impressions on the MR Cali twin, and
Yeah.
the full review will come shortly. So thanks for watching.
Cheers, guys.
Oh, give me the board! Give me the board, bro! Skateboard reviews.